So good to see you again.
It's good to see you too.
So I was looking through the paperwork, and it says that you just wanted to make an appointment today to be able to come in and talk about your feelings about a family reunion that's coming up.
Yes, I'm kind of nervous and anxious at the same time about the reunion. We haven't had one since I got clean and sober.
Okay.
As you know, I've been clean and sober for a little over a year, and so a few of my family members drank
Okay.
and or smoked weed. And so I'm kind of nervous about attending the family reunion, although I've made a commitment to my closest family that I would attend the reunion.
Okay.
So I'm caught in between wanting to go and see family members I haven't seen in a while, but not wanting to go in case there's alcohol there and I may feel uncomfortable around that.
Okay. So you've made a commitment that you're going to go, and you told some family, hey, I'm going to be there. And then on the flip side of it, you're like, oh, there may be some drugs or alcohol there. I've been clean for a while. This may not be the right place for me to be.
Correct.
Okay. I think it's great that you decided to call and come in and get these feelings out in the open and be able to talk about how you truly feel about that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you really want to go to that reunion? How much does it mean to you?
Probably around a 6.
Okay. Why not a 7?
It would be higher than a 7 if I knew for a fact that there wasn't going to be alcohol or drugs there.
Okay, right. So you'd be more ready to go if you just didn't have the concern about the alcohol.
Yeah,
and the
that's
drugs.
right.
Okay, all right. So, what would this family reunion look like to you if it was a day you woke up and everything was just the way it needed to be for Casey to feel comfortable and for Casey to have the most enjoyment out of that situation? What would it look like?
It would, I guess, be a sunny day, no rain, and I see all the family I haven't seen in a while, and everyone got along, and everyone caught up on old times and reminisced and talked about what's going on in their lives now, possibly seeing little babies that I've never seen before, and not being tempted by alcohol or other things.
Okay.
That would be ideal for me.
That sounds like a beautiful scenario, to be able to show up with your family and be able to reminisce and have connections and communications that you hadn't been able to have in a while without the presence of drugs and alcohol. What are some of the things that you could put in place before you get there to prepare you if there are drugs and alcohol, so that you won't pick up a drink or that you won't smoke marijuana with the people that are there?
I've learned a couple of things in recovery, that if I'm going somewhere where there may be temptation, that I can always bring someone that's in recovery with me to hold me accountable.
With you, yeah.
And so, and also I can also call my sponsor before I go and get some suggestions or advice from him. And I could also have an exit strategy or exit plan to where if I start to feel very uncomfortable, then I can just get up and get in my car and leave and not have to explain myself that it's okay to look after my well-being first. So those are a couple of things I've thought about already.
All right, so talking to your sponsor, and perhaps having someone go with you to the reunion, to hold you accountable or for you to be able to communicate with, and knowing that it's okay for you to be able to leave without having to explain anything to anybody is what I hear you saying, are things that you could do to prepare yourself.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that those are all great ideas. Would you be willing to look into those things further when you get home and make that phone call to your sponsor and say, this is the date that I'm going, this is how long I plan on being gone. If you get to that date and feel as if you need to take someone else with you, already have that lined up. And know that you will be driving yourself there and that you have a way to be able to leave. You could line all of those things up to help you feel more comfortable. Do you want to go home and make those phone calls today?
Yes, I think that'd be a great idea.
I commend you for being able to come up with those things. It really looks as if you put some thought and some effort into it beforehand, plus being able to come in here and to talk about it. Is everyone in your family aware of your situation with not having the desire to want to drink or to do drugs today?
Everyone's aware that I'm an alcoholic and addict,
Okay.
but not everyone is aware that I'm in recovery. There are a few family members that I haven't seen over the past year or so that may not know that I'm in recovery. That's not to say a family member hasn't told them, but I haven't actually talked to them about it in the past year.
So there's some family that knows, there's some family that doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Do you feel comfortable with letting everyone know, that this is how you choose to live today and why you choose to live that way?
Yes, I have no problem letting people know that I'm in recovery and that I'm an alcoholic or addict, but I don't want to go to the reunion and just say, excuse me, I'm an alcoholic addict, I'm in recovery, please don't drink or drug in front of me. That's a little bit extreme, so.
I understand that's what you're saying. You don't want to go in there and feel like you're the center of attention and you're saying, don't do what you're doing in front of me. Don't stop what you're doing because of me. Is that what you're trying to say?
Right.
Okay. What are some of the things that you could have in place so that when you leave the reunion, if there are drugs and alcohol present and you didn't use, but you may need to prepare yourself for in the days after. Sometimes having a relapse prevention program is great, but we also need to have it for the days after a big event too. You're going to be seeing people you haven't seen in a really long time, getting to meet babies, like you said, that you hadn't seen. And when you get back home and start to reminisce on what transpired or how you feel about those things, what's some of the things that you can do in the days after that?
I could up my meetings. Okay. Instead of going to 2 or 3 a week, I could do 2 in a row, 2 days in a row when I get back from the reunion. And I still have my network in recovery to talk about my feelings to them as well as you. Right. And just try to enjoy the present moment while I'm there. And then when I get home, just try to show gratitude for the fact that hopefully I will not take a drink or a drug. So
I think it's great that you know the things that you want to have in place and that you want to show gratitude and be grateful for what's going on here and now, and not having to think too much about it. Okay, well, I think that you coming in for the session is great. Being able to come up with the ideas that you have already to be able to put into place is great. Taking care of that homework, reiterating it, talking to your sponsor, getting someone to go with you perhaps. And maybe even talking to other family before you get there to let them know, hey, this isn't something that I want to have to address myself. I don't need to be the center of attention, and I'm not wanting to burden anybody else with what I don't want to be around would be a great idea.
I think so.
Okay. So you're committed to taking care of that part of the homework. The plan for being able to come home and process what went on when you went to the family reunion is great. What if in the days to come you are, like you are now, wanting to come in and talk about why it may not be a good idea? What if you just decide you don't want to go? Are you okay with contacting your family and saying, hey, I made a decision, this isn't what I want to do?
It hasn't crossed my mind as of yet, but now that you mention it, if I feel over anxious or over nervous and I just feel like I can't go without possibly obsessing over drinking or using, then I feel it would be okay to not go. and I wouldn't have to really explain much about why I didn't.
Well, I'm really glad to be able to hear you say that. I think that shows a lot of effort from you, and the fact that you do want to do this, because you're not thinking about what if you don't do it. And being able to say yes or no and not have to explain yourself is great. Take care of that homework, and I think it would be great if we schedule one more appointment before you get ready to go, and you just talk to me about who your plan of safety is set up with, and whether or not you're going to be driving or they're going to be driving you, and the conversations that you may have had with any other family members beforehand. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You willing to come back in for another appointment
Yes,
one more time? All right. I thank you so much for coming in, Casey. I think you're going to do a great job at that
Thank you
family
so much.
reunion. You're very welcome.
I'll see you soon.
Have a
Bye-bye.
good day.